Thanks for checking back in, and welcome to anyone new that's listening for the first time. I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, know who Roger Stone is and what's going on with him and his court case. And I'm sure most are aware he was found guilty today on all 7 charges that he was indicted for. But what I'd like to do with this is just kind of skim over everything and take a closer look at Judge Amy Berman Jackson, the judge that's gonna likely sentence Roger Stone. She is the same judge that sentenced Paul Manafort. She put a gag order on Roger Stone, limiting his conversation about his case to the courtroom and only to the media in front of the court on the courtyard. And the reason she did that is because he posted a picture of her on Twitter and had like the crosshairs, like from a telescope, over her face. Which sounds crazy, but what's been going on in the world lately, we're kind of seeing that certain people in the know have other ways of communicating. I don't think Roger Stone is so crazy to threaten the judge with that tweet. But I actually think he was conveying a message that this is the hit person for me. Anyway, so she keeps Roger Stone from talking about his case to anyone, and she puts Paul Manafort in solitary confinement before he was even convicted for anything. She was appointed by Obama, and she's the judge that actually dismissed the Benghazi charges against Hillary Clinton. So yeah, that's who's gonna sentence Roger Stone. I would definitely think I had a hit on me too, and probably even want to post it on Twitter. It would be like my cry for help. Anyways, here's a few clips to help get you up to date with the Roger Stone situation.
I answered all these questions before the House Intelligence Committee for 4 hours behind closed doors, and I stand by proof whatsoever that I had advance notice of the source or the content of the allegedly hacked or stolen emails published by WikiLeaks, or that I received anything of the kind. I challenge him to produce it now or shut up. Because this is not about Russian collusion. It's about the parsing of words. It's about process crimes and perjury traps, and I decline to participate.
This is exclusive CNN video. This is what happened this morning before sunrise, just before 6 a.m., when Roger Stone, longtime Trump associate and advisor, was taken into custody by the FBI. There's a moment of audio on here that I want to play for everyone, because this is what the first sounds that Roger Stone woke up to this morning was the FBI pounding on his door and shouting this. I want to just play this for a moment. But what's so fascinating is that we've talked to his attorney. The attorney didn't know this was coming. Clearly, Roger Stone didn't know this was coming. You were staked out at his house. You didn't know that this was coming. Why were you there in position?
Allison, it's a reporter's instinct. The whole Russian...
All because he backed Donald Trump, a man who wants to save and take our country back from people who have raped and pillaged it and want to turn it into a third world nation. So they're trying to say Trump is colluding with the Russians. They're convicting people around him for supposedly colluding with Russians, even though they're being charged and sentenced for things that have absolutely nothing to do with it. I think at this point everyone knows that the information WikiLeaks got was not from Roger Stone, but it was from Seth Rich, who was murdered by MS-13, and we all know what happened there. So they're convicting these people to make it look like they're getting closer to Trump, which I don't think they even believe they're going to be successful. I think they're just doing this because they know what's coming their way. They're terrified, and they're going to say Trump is creating all these charges on them because he's mad and this is his revenge for the Russian collusion. So these guys are getting convicted for nothing to do with Russian collusion, and the media is manipulating people into believing it has everything to do with Russian collusion, and they're getting closer to Trump one conviction at a time.
This is an ABC News special report. The House impeachment hearings. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
Welcome back to our coverage of the impeachment of President Trump. The hearing room at 1100 House Longworth Building still empty right now as members coming back from the floor from a vote. But as they return for the second half of this hearing with Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch, we have breaking news also out of Washington, D.C. Roger Stone, one of the president's longest-serving political advisors.
Keep in mind their special coverage impeachment show is covering this.
Longtime friend of the president, has now been found guilty on 7 counts of lying to Congress and tampering with a witness. This is a spinoff of Robert Mueller's investigation. He's now facing up to 20 years in prison as you see him heading into the courtroom with his wife earlier this morning. I want to go straight to our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, with the latest on that verdict.
George, you're correct. This is 7 federal felonies that Roger Stone has been convicted of, all dealing with the fact that he lied to Congress about his efforts to get the information that WikiLeaks was going to provide concerning dirt about Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election. And why did he do it? Prosecutors in the case this week in their closing arguments pointed out to the fact that he did it to protect the president, or then candidate Donald Trump. Let me give you a statement from the closing arguments. Quote, Stone knew that if his information came out, it would likely look really bad for his longtime associate, Donald Trump. So he lied to the committee. So again,
these people can't have souls knowing they're getting up in front of, well, I don't know about millions anymore, but they're getting up in front of people and they're just lying their asses off. And not with little white lies, but lies that are just destroying their future, their children's future. I really don't know how they do it.
Anything related to Russian collusion, not one person, not Michael Flynn, not Roger Stone, not George Papadopoulos, not Paul Manafort, not Carter Page, not Donald Trump. Roger Stone is facing life in prison. He was indicted by an investigation designed to find collusion, indicted on minor charges. He was dragged from his own home in a morning FBI raid. They put an amphibious vehicle outside his house and pointed an automatic weapon in his face, all to find collusion. But there was no collusion. Stone is still looking at life in prison. Where is Roger Stone's pardon? His pardon from the president. Let's hope it comes very soon.
Thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoyed the video. Your feedback is always appreciated. If you're not a member, we'd like if you hit that subscribe button. And again, if you enjoyed the video, we would like your support by sharing it. If you have any ideas for the channel, please feel free to leave comments or share those ideas in the comment section. God bless everyone. Have a good night. Where we go one, we go all.